We just seen the debut of Silver Axe, known as Kyo the Hitman, and man does he look powerful and strong. It's super cool to see more great powers of the past era get some great shine, the same way Oda has given the warlords of today like Doflamingo, Mihawk, Boa, Kuma, Moria, Jinbei, Buggy, and Crocodile shine, and also the supernovas in Eustace Kid, Killer, Law, X-Drake, Hawkins, Apu, Bonnie, Capone, and Mad Monk Aruj. Don't ever forget to share the Aruj. We already seen Gang Zhui, Don Marlin, and Wang Ji or Ochoku, who pretty much ran Pirate Island during the Rocky Port incident. We also seen Captain John pretty much son Kaido, calling him a rookie, a horn-headed rookie, showing he is just as cool as he was on Thriller Bark. But Silver Axe has a different aura that I think needs to have a full-on discussion about. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications as we do a deep dive on Kyo the Wicked, who later was known as Silver Axe. Now when we first see Silver Axe in the One Piece story, he looks like a regular human. The guys, or like the fodder of Pirate Island Beehive, are pretty much telling him to get lost, and they're treating him like a scrub. And all of a sudden you see this huge monster grabbing the fodder's head, and he looks extremely jacked and extremely huge. And all that reminded me of was the Mad Monk Aruj and his Delve Fruit. Is Oda trying to say that Silver Axe has the same Delve Fruit as Aruj? I know Aruj is from the Sky Islands, and Silver Axe doesn't seem to be from the Sky Islands. But imagine if that was one of his factors of making him so strong. I get it, he uses an axe and whatnot, but imagine also the fact that he has his Karma Delve Fruit. Now I must admit, the design looks cool, he looks fairly powerful, but if he had that broken Delve Fruit that even Aruj hasn't even showcased fully, we know Aruj took out Snack, but he hasn't really showcased it fully, and there's a reason why Oda's hiding Aruj, since we're in Elbaf currently, almost done this series. Imagine we finish One Piece and Aruj is the only supernova who doesn't get any shine. That would be crazy. Then we have to discuss the X on his sunglasses. Yes, this guy has one X on the left eye and another X on the right eye of his sunglasses. And the first thing that came to my mind was X-Drake. X-Drake is a guy who uses, I think, 4-sided axe and a saber as well. We know he's an ancient Zoan. X-Drake, of course, had connections to Mad Monk when it comes to being a supernova. I definitely think there might be some connection to X-Drake. We already know X-Drake's father, but if there's somehow Silver Axe is X-Drake's grandfather, that would be crazy. We know that the timeline should add up, if I'm being completely honest here. But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. If there's anything else you guys can think of, let me know. But I just thought of X-Drake, if I'm being honest. But the biggest thing that Oda dropped in, of course, Silver Axe's introduction is that he's the rival to Shiki. This is super cool because Shiki is known as the Wicked, and he's also known as the Wicked. Of course, Shiki would later be known as the Gold Lion or the Flying Pirate, where of course this guy would later be known as the Silver Axe. He has a similar design as Shiki as well when it comes to his what he's wearing. It's kind of like reminds me of Wano. Maybe they have a connection to Wano and the Kurozumi clan. Who knows? They are rivals. They don't like each other. Maybe their rivalry gets stronger after the Rocks Pirates actually disband. I can't wait to see what Oda does with this rivalry, because we know Shiki needs to get some respect on his name. This guy was fighting Roger at the Ed War. This guy was fighting Garp and Goku and destroyed Half Marine Fort. He's the only man to ever escape Impel Down until Luffy did it. This guy is one of the legends of all legends, an original Rocks pirate alongside Whitebeard. Like, they look like they'll be to be the wings of the Rocks Pirates. And a lot of times people were looking at Big Mom and Kaido as the guys when it comes to the Rocks Pirates, but now we're realizing it was actually Whitebeard and Shiki as the guys. So I think that this would be cool to see if this adds to Silver Axe's character. And then I can't forget to mention Scopper Gabon. Scopper Gabon has a lot of parallels. He has the Sanji parallel, of course. And of course, he has the Rayleigh comparison as well, because they're both wings of Gold D. Roger. But there's one thing that really needs to be talked about when it comes to Scopper Gabon: what he uses. He uses an axe. We've seen it against, of course, Summers. We've seen it against Luffy. And we also seen it against Zoro. Like, he has insane power in his axe ability. We know that he was able to do insane things to save Roger when he needed a hospital. They call him the Mountain Eater. Could we see a situation where Scopper Gabon goes at it with Silver Axe? We know Silver Axe, one of the legends of the Rocks era. So to see Scopper Gabon go up against him, it would be a pretty interesting fight. We know it's the third strongest on the future Pirate King crew. And of course, Silver Axe, a top pirate of the Rocks era. Now I want to talk about Thriller Bark. Thriller Bark got Absalom waking up the ancient warriors, and we see guys like Gang Zhui, an unnamed Rocks pirate as well, and that might be Gil, but I'm not too sure if it's Gil, but I doubt it. And lastly, Captain John, probably the strongest after Rocks, Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom. He was pretty vocal when Kaido was going at it with Rocks. So I think that Captain John could definitely easily be a top 5 Rocks pirate. Now, I must admit, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is interesting when it comes to the Silver Axe plotline. Oda has a guy with a silver axe and a shield in the middle of Gangri and Captain John. Now, there's already theories of Thriller Bark being connected to God Valley, but imagine this. Imagine that's actually Silver Axe. Now, the size might not match up because, of course, this character here does look smaller than the Silver Axe we've seen. But you have to understand, there was some size difference when it comes to him in cloak and him without the cloak. So imagine he can manipulate his size somehow. But there's also a chance Oda can easily turn this Silver Axe man during Thriller Bark zombies into fodder and make Silver Axe a relevant character like Wang Shi. We even see during the end of the arc of Thriller Bark when Moria is grabbing all the shadows, we see a panel of course, Captain John Gang Zhui, and in the corner you'll actually see the Silver Axe guy. Now, it does make me think maybe the Silver Axeman we've seen as a zombie might have been Silver Axe, but honestly, a little bit of me doesn't want it to be Silver Axe. I think this character is so cool and badass. I think there's a chance where we'll see a different side to him, a different story that doesn't have to do with Thriller Bark. We already got Gang Zhui, we already got Captain John, and an unnamed Rocks Pirate. That's enough Rocks Pirates that Moria obtained, guys. Now, the fact that he's the rival of Shiki, we have to understand that he definitely does get stronger. First of all, Shiki during the Ed War, guys, he wanted Roger to be his underling. He wanted Roger to be his right hand. And without that storm, who knows what would happen, guys. That was insane because this is Roger after defeating Rocks, guys. This is one of the strongest versions of Roger where the sickness is not really that powerful in that sense. So to see Shiki go up against Roger, Shiki, a man who has a Devil Fruit that, of course, Oda didn't even want to give to anybody when it comes to that flying Devil Fruit. Imagine Silver Axe was going toe-to-toe with Shiki around this time, guys. That would make him insanely powerful. And then, of course, there's Shiki and Marineford. Shiki Marineford is a very interesting case because I have Garp in such high regards. The same way I have Sengoku in high regards. Sengoku became Fleet Admiral. He's a Conqueror's Haki coded user. He's a Mythical Zoan user. Like, Sengoku has a lot of aura. Then there's Garp. This guy, his fists were insane. He went up against Roger, Rocks. He is a Haki man. And honestly, he's just a hype character in general. So for them to team up against Shiki, don't get me wrong, Shiki's very powerful. I think Shiki's Yonko level at the time they were fighting him. But this is a Pirate King level guy in Garp and a Yonko level guy in Sengoku going up against a Yonko level guy in Shiki. Yes, they won the fight, but wouldn't Garp just be suffice? Like, why did the two of them have to fight? And we even see a situation where Garp needed medical care after this fight. So yes, Shiki is incredibly powerful, but I do believe that Oda needs to show this fight more in depth because it makes Shiki look amazing and it makes Garp and Sengoku look a little question mark. Even though I don't believe it, there is a question mark because of this moment. So I definitely feel like this honestly is a buff to Silver Axe because that's his rival. Anything his rival does makes him look better. And lastly, it's Shiki escaping Impel Down. The reason why Shiki escaping Impel Down is so cool is because look how he did it. He cut both his feet off, just showing how much of a savage he is. Now imagine Silver Axe, what he could do, honestly. If his rival is cutting his leg off, imagine the savage, bloody things he could do, guys. He's a legend for a reason. Sengoku mentioned for a reason. It definitely makes Silver Axe look good. I told you, everything Shiki does makes Silver Axe good. I know I sound like those Miyako fans. Oh, Rock's a swordsman, Roger's a swordsman, Rayleigh a swordsman. Oh my gosh, Miyako looks amazing. I'm not trying to, but yes, I'm doing the same tactics that they're doing, guys. I know, but we gotta have nothing with this guy. We have nothing, so I gotta give him something. Now, in my opinion, in God Valley, we'll most likely see him versus Scarpa Gabon, another guy who holds axes like Silver Axe. But I also think Scarpa Gabon can be fighting Shiki, and it might be a situation where, of course, this whole Shiki rivalry might become a factor during this God Valley situation. Don't forget, Shiki is the Sanji of the Rocks Pirates, so him fighting Scarpa Gabon makes a lot of sense. So I do want to talk about how the Rocks had a lot of infighting, and that was one of the reasons why they actually lost on God Valley. And I think Silver Axe and Shiki are the perfect moment of two of the strongest Rocks Pirates going at each other when they need, of course, to go up against Garp, the Holy Knights, and the Roger Pirates. Now, don't forget, when it comes to the characters Sengoku mentioned, there was a lot of hype. Oda gave Captain John his treasure. That plotline was amazing. He gave Wang Ji or Ochaku the Rocky Port incident with Law, Blackbeard, and Kobe. And he had Shiki, of course, with the whole Korozumi Wano event there. And don't forget, he gave Shiki a whole movie. So I also believe Oda might give us an insane plot twist for Silver Axe, or a plot point that's just insane. Being a part of the Holy Knights is one of my biggest theory. If Silver Axe becomes a Holy Knight, it definitely makes him relevant to Elbaf and makes me understand why Oda gave him his own page during the Rocks Pirates introduction. I think he didn't give to any of the other Rocks Pirates guys. He didn't give it to Whitebeard, he didn't give to Shiki, and I can go on and on. He only gave it to one guy, and that's Silver Axe. And the other guy that he also got his own page was Harold, and Harold declined to go to Rocks Pirates. So yeah, Silver Axe might be an Elbaf, guys. He might be a character in Elbaf. He might even be that guy talking to Loki on the transponder cell. Who knows? But I think he's going to be relevant in this arc. So get hyped.